Good evening from the greenhouse. I just came from work. I just wanted to do a quick overview of the kind of kale I'm growing right now because kale is a spring veggie, and I just did a fairly large harvest. I'm not growing currently all of the varieties that I have grown. I'm missing two, but I've got kind of a couple interesting varieties that I'm growing right now. So there's currently 4 growing in the vegetable garden. I've got 2 sort of dino varieties and 2 curly varieties. The most commonly seen one is like this one called Lacinato Kale, Nero di Toscana, Dino Kale. Got a couple of different names for this guy. The leaves tend to be rather thin and quite wrinkly, sort of like dinosaur skin. And they tend to be quite a dark green. They're darker when the temperature is cooler, so it's a little bit on the lighter side than what it really can be, just because we've had warmer temps and it's coming into the summer months, so it's been a bit warmer. The next one I have is called the Dazzling Blue Kale. It's not quite as dark bluish as it normally is, again because of the warmer temps, but this guy is a lot like the Lacinato or the Nero di Toscana, the Tuscan kale, in its sort of shape and texture, but this guy forms a purplish pink spine and veins, as well as can develop a dark bluish purple color when it's cooler and when it's allowed to mature more. I guess it should be noted that I don't let most of my kale get large, the leaves like really fully develop, because I think they taste better when they're younger. So all of the leaves look quite small. They do get bigger than this, but I cut them when they're quite small. The next variety that I have is called Red Bore Kale. This guy is actually quite pretty. It's got a pinkish red, like a fuchsia spine and veining, and the leaf itself starts to develop sort of a pinkish purple color to it as it matures. Again, I harvest it when it's kind of young. This guy's a lot like in terms of shape, a lot like your standard curly kale, but the color is a lot different. The last one that I have growing is this one is called the Scarlet Curly Kale. It's quite different looking than the rest of them in that it's really a beautiful dark purple color. Both the veins and the leaves turn a dark purple. And this one's really neat looking. This one's Scarlet Curly. All of these are, except for the Tuscan Kale, these other three varieties are from Territorial Seed Company, and my Tuscan Kale is from Baker Creek. So I just did a big harvest. I'm going to go wash them inside. I guess it's worth noting the last 2 varieties that I have that are not currently growing for harvest are Red Russian Kale and Standard Blue Scotch Curly Kale, and those 2 varieties, as a truck goes by, those 2 varieties I also got from Baker Creek. I currently actually have some of the Red Russian Kale seed pods drying to harvest the seeds, so that way I can plant them for next year. So yeah, when the kale bolts up, it sends out flowers, and then once those are pollinated, they form these pods like this, and inside are a bunch of seeds that when they dry out, you can store them, and hopefully they will germinate next time I plant them. So anyway, again, I'm going to bring these in and wash them, and probably enjoy a nice like a harvest salad tonight. So thank you for joining me in the greenhouse.